Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Captain Clyde's MTG. That's right, topic of the day $250,000 worth of cards in a Texas landfill. I'm sure you guys have probably heard about this already. It's all over Reddit. It's happened at the butt crack of dawn today. I've been looking into it, getting people's ideas and feedbacks, and asking around. Obviously, you can't find the Reddit guy because it's Reddit. Those guys are never findable. But anyway, I'm gonna give you my assumption of what this is and a little insight to some of the reporting that's going on because I think some people aren't really getting the idea of what's going on. But anyway, so don't forget to sub up. We'll try to get to 1,000 subscribers still. So with this, basically what we have here is through everybody cutting, pasting, zooming in, zooming out, so forth and so on, of trying to figure out what these pictures really are. We had a picture. Someone came in on Reddit named Latino. That's a great name. I'm sure it's worth money. You can probably sell that. But anyway, the account's over 10 years old. He apparently works at a landfill. And he got a picture of a bunch of magic cards in the landfill that, at the worst case scenario, is very suspect. For several reasons, we'll get into that. It has been speculated they are Modern Horizons because he took an additional one where he opened one of the boxes and took some stuff out of it. And it was a blister pack box. Those were, the ones you can get at Walmart or whatever. So we'll get into that as well. But yeah, so let's dive into it a little bit more. So if you look into it, what we have here, this is the actual picture of the landfill. So the things, first off, let's talk about things that are suspect about it. These are fully wrapped pallets. I don't understand why fully wrapped pallets would end up in a landfill. Secondly, uh, this landfill looks like this area hasn't been used for a while. You can see there's not a lot of just trash. It's wet dirt and mulch. Up here is a little bit more stuff. But why would they dump all this fresh stuff into this area? Now that includes the wood. None of this has been broke down, so it doesn't make any sense. So that's weird as well. So it's very interesting. So, people have tried zooming in and the pixelation is awful. Obviously, whoever took this picture, nothing against him, has a phone from the 90s probably. Camera's awful, so forth and so on. So some of the articles that have been reporting on this is one article I just kind of snapped up. Uh, it says here you can bet your bottom dollar someone out there somewhere is wanting more magic cards. In fact, it's pretty much guaranteed considering the enduring popularity of the game. Immediately sad when cards end up in a landfill. This is the case at recent sets that are worth pretty penny, and one Magic Gathering fan was able to track down exactly where the cards ended up. Um, so the pics were on a subreddit. They were posted in a landfill in Texas, in the United States, apparently. There were 6 pallets. Doing the math, that's 6 layers per pallet, 12 cardboard boxes per layer, 4 display boxes per case, 1,724 display boxes in each pallet, $150 per box at a conservative estimate is close to $260,000 of the product. So here's where I think that they're wrong. Looking at those boxes, if you go back to these boxes, these are not boxes. Now, I get cases all the time in sealed boxes. These are not the boxes I would receive. Now, they're the same shape and size and what have you, but notice how they're not long. These are more square. So when you buy a case of 6 boxes, it's a lot longer because of the shape of the boxes. The boxes are flatter and smaller. I know Modern Horizon 2 are different shaped boxes, but I'm also here to tell you I've got cases of Modern Horizons 2. They also don't look like this in my opinion. What these do look like I mentioned before, is a blister pack case where you get a box. A local Walmart, you'd buy a box that have 3 packs in it. It looks like a box of those. This is also what Rudy has mentioned before. I've checked Rudy's channel. He's shown packages of his own blister cases. They look very similar to this. He didn't do it for this one in particular, but in past episodes and from other things I've seen, people who have opened cases like this that are blister packs come in something very shaped and sized in this manner. Plus, not to mention, he actually shows a picture. I didn't grab it because I didn't think I would need it. You know, that's how smart I am. But anyway, he actually showed a picture of a blister pack for Modern Horizons 2, which is what he said he pulled out of these boxes. Now, also with that being said, there's other things to go into. So we'll go back to the article here, and now we'll move on. So if they're blister cases, they're obviously not worth this much money. So let's not get our panties in a bundle. Also, yeah, it's astonishing value find sitting out there for Magic fans. Yeah. So let's talk about astonishing finds. So first off, it's not worth this. It's only 3 packs. Secondly, blister cases are draft packs. They're not set packs. Draft packs are not as valuable. Thirdly, the blister packs that he showed, the color and inking on the cards that came out. Now he only showed one of the top cards, which again is suspect instead of just fanning the whole pack out. But anyway, point being, the inking on the card looked very poor. It did not look good at all, almost like it was a defective card from the printer. So it's also very likely that not only are these blister packs, which are not worth this kind of money because you can't get as much in there. Secondly, these were defective lots because of quality control that had to be destroyed in some way, shape, or form. Now, I know people out there like cards that are misprint, cut, error cards, whatever. But that's not something Wizards normally wants to sell, especially if they got to flood the market with pallets of it. Now, secondly, another thing to move on to when you talk about blister packs, if you guys don't remember, blister packs were taken off the market from Walmart and all them guys because of the high rate of theft, and they couldn't really, they weren't selling them, people were just stealing them. And how it works is when you do cards and blister packs and things at Walmart, Target, whatever, it's on consignment to the company. So when the company says they sell it by having scanned records at the register, that's when they get paid. So if you just steal it from Walmart, they just don't get paid. And they don't lose money, but they're also not gaining any money. So they do have to pay shipping fees, yada, 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 or however they have that worked out. But anyway, what was happening was it was costing Wizards so much money, they actually called back all the blister packs, if you guys remember that. It started with Ikoria, and then moving forward, they kept seeing the problem, and they started taking them off shelves. And the whole point, moving back a little bit here, to a blister pack is you put out enough product, boxes, set, draft, whatever, and then the market doesn't have enough product, so people want more. So you can then sell blister packs at local Walmarts, Targets, Costco, GameStop, whatever, to help sate that need by making packs instead of boxes with the extra you have left over. Now, the problem with that is we have a confirmed overprinting problem. Obviously, Wizards of the Coast won't admit to it, but we all know about it. So another problem is nobody's buying these blister packs because they were buying boxes cheaper because blister packs are higher priced. And then there was no market for the blister packs again, not just because people are stealing them, but because people didn't even want them. So if you weren't at a place where you could steal them, i.e. Walmart, just not scan them, like GameStop or whatever, where they would scan it and give it to you, you just wouldn't buy them because there's no need to. You just didn't want them. So it runs into the second problem of why blister packs are bad. So there's that. Also, moving forward, check out one last chunk here. It shows here the Latino guy. If you look in here, you can go. It's easy to find this. Just put in MTG landfill. It's all over the internet. We talked about the problem here. It talks here again about the Modern Horizons packs. So it's they don't have an answer here. Again, they're just speculating. They talk about a collector or a seller ordered a big haul and the delivery company required the buyer to shell at a forklift. They couldn't do it. Now, this is wrong because if you don't take delivery of something, either the company takes it and resells it or they actually ship it back. That's just kind of how that works because there's money there. The customer refused the order. Again, it would be shipped back. Delivery company offloads the claim to a shipper and disposes of them. It's not how that really works, in my personal opinion. So defects, again, defects are also a thing. But here's the thing about defects. It talks about bent boxes and or missing items. We've seen that already. I doubt that's I doubt bent boxes and missing items is why this was got rid of. Um, the they're just dumped. Now that's a possibility. Um, so as we talk about defects, let's talk about this. We've had a lot of cards come in with defects that have made it into the market, so it's very easy to get rid of those. Now the problem with that, what should be happening with defect cards, and Rudy has mentioned this, and I just like to follow up this and mention that Rudy is right. There is a place called Iron Mountain. For those of you who don't know what Iron Mountain is, there are several places like that. Iron Mountain is one of the most notorious. My real job is in a manufacturing environment, dealing with documentation, lots of other things. Um, Iron Mountain has been my supplier at different companies I've worked at. And they're not even a supplier, honestly. They come in, dispose of records, record keeping, sensitive documents, but they don't dispose of them this way. Like they literally will shred them down to dust, all to completely unusable, mulch them for you. I mean, there's all kinds of links they will go to make this stuff unusable and unretrievable for the specific reason that you could have an IP, um, or personal data or some company, um, secret, and you don't want it to get out, so they will shred for you and take care of that. Obviously, that's not what happened here, so I don't think that this was a proper disposal. So with that, with us knowing that the Cox Tower and his Ivory Tower or whatever, and that lady, I've done forgot her name because she's so out of it and unimportant. I don't even want to talk about her. Um, Cynthia Williams. Who cares? Anyway, they've admitted they don't have an overprinting problem, but we in the previous videos we talked about before about how they're going to or need to cut back print runs. They may be doing that. Putting extra product on the market is just going to crash the market even more, especially with Amazon offloads and dumps and what have you. They may have done this to try to hide certain things, but if they were going to hide it, again, Iron Mountain would be the right way to go about doing this. So I don't think that's what that is. What this is, I think this, in my personal opinion, is a publicity stunt to show that they're not going to admit to overprinting, but they're taking steps to fix the problem, which means not only are they going to cut back printing, but they're showing that they are trashing and destroying cards from current sets or recent sets or both to make the cards scarce and make them worth value, to think people to probe people in the hope that they will go buy what's actually on the market because they're actually destroying any kind of stockpile that there is. Now it could also send people the other way, a bad thing about this, into people thinking, well, I'm not going to buy anything because there's so much of it, they're destroying it, so it couldn't possibly be worth anything at all. So there's two ways to look at that. Either way, it is a publicity stunt that moving forward would help Wizards with people thinking, well, they're just not going to print that much anymore because they're actually destroying what they got, so they wouldn't make it just to destroy it because that's not good business and it costs money to do that. So there's that as well. Um, I think that might be a good thing of what is really going on here. Um, but at the end of the day, I honestly think it's just a publicity stunt. Um, and I find a lot of this hard to believe. But to be honest, guys, I have seen a lot weirder. So am I shocked? No. Am I surprised? No. Do I think more people will find stuff like this? Yes. Um, because all the leaks that come out of Wizards, they're always like, oh, someone leaked something. If you look into the video, or you look into the picture, you can notice that it's people from Wizards leaking stuff from Wizards on purpose to generate hype. And again, that's what this could be. And not that the guy who took this picture was doing that. It's just they know they have too much product, so they just want to dump it. And if they get this kind of coverage over it, which they hope they would, XYZ, so be it. If not, then they just get rid of a problem that they had. It's kind of a whole tinfoil hat thing. But anyway, so those are my thoughts and opinions on it. You guys tell me what you think. Comments down below. Yeah, go look this up. It's pretty amazing and at the same time pretty scary. Yeah. So with that said, guys, thanks a lot. Until next time, be kind. And as always, hope to see you across from the game table.